Jadesama Ajawo. I'm an Upwork freelance writer with over $19,000 in earnings on the Upwork platform. I started Upwork 11 months ago. So today I want to talk about a topic I'm passionate about. I want to talk about the myths that freelance coaches tell their followers on how to win jobs on Upwork. I'm going to be debunking all of these myths. First of all, when I talk about freelance coaches, I want you to understand that I'm not talking about normal freelancers who have made a lot of money on the Upwork platform and now go on to YouTube or their blogging platform or anywhere else and they start to tell you how you can make money from Upwork. I'm not talking about those people. Those people, an example of that person would be someone like George Bonsteak, who has a YouTube channel, or Morgan Overholt, who has a blog, or even Abolade Akinfenwa, a Nigerian Upworker, just like me. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about these freelance coaches that tell you that they know the secret to make it on Upwork, and that if you were to follow their tips, that they would guide you into making money on Upwork. I mentioned two separate people. These are the two main differences. Number one, the regular people that just come on their blog and tell you what they know. First of all, they do not charge. They do not charge for their services. They do not charge at all. But you see these freelance coaches, they are always charging. Normally they charge around $50 to $200. They are not selling their skill. If they were graphic designers, they would not be selling the fact how to graphic design. Or if they were writers, most of them claim to be writers. If they were writers, they would not sell, oh, this is how to be a copywriter. They mostly sell how to make money on Upwork. They tell you that it is easy to make money on Upwork as long as you have the secret skills, and they will teach you the secret skills. The second thing of note is that the first batch of people I mentioned always know how to prove their earnings. They have their earnings splattered all over their pages, whether on Twitter or LinkedIn or anywhere. You ask them to prove how much they've made, they're ready to prove it. You can even go on Upwork yourself and see their pages. But this second group, most of the time, in about 95% of the cases, they actually happen to hide their profiles or they don't promote it. If they were to promote someone's earnings, they do not promote their earnings, they promote their students' earnings. So it is doubtful whether they even earn money from freelancing or if they earn money by telling people how to freelance. So now I'm just going to talk about three of these people, because most times when they are telling you this is how to earn money on Upwork, most times they embezzle or they lie outrightly. I don't know if they do it on purpose or because they don't really work on the Upwork platform, so they do not know how it works. But now I'm going to be debunking their myths. So the first one is someone I'm going to call HQ. I'm not going to name any of their names because I do not want to send them hits. I just want to debunk their lies. So now, this HQ guy, the first tweet of his, because I'm going to be going over what they post on Twitter. So the first tweet of his is meant to be a proposal template that you should send if you want to freelance on Upwork. Open this if you're a freelance web developer, SEO, social media manager. Okay, the first problem with this is that any Upworker knows that you should not have proposal templates. They are bad. Every time you apply to a job posting, apply to it based on what you can see in the job posting. Do not have a template that you can just tweak. Look at the job posting and create a proposal that will be comparable to that job posting. So he has to tweak it. Idea, first mistake, you should never ever write the proposal without at least trying to find what the client's name is. How do you know the client's name? You search on by the reviews. There are many reviews. Most of the clients already have a lot of reviews, so you just scroll down and see what other freelancers call the clients. Winning, he called it a winning Upwork proposal. This is also another problem. You cannot guarantee people's earnings from the proposal, because no matter how good your proposal is, you might not even win a job. But let's continue. Selling vehicles and cars is now competitive, more intense than ever before. I'm not going to go through it, but I can see that the first whole paragraph just speaks about things that the clients already know. It talks about how a lot of people spend a lot on ads. They know. That's why they are on Upwork, to look for something, to look for someone that will help them manage their ads. You do not need to mention any single thing the client already knows. So now it continues. I help car sellers and auto dealers, blah blah blah. I do this by designing fully responsive SEO optimized websites. Over the years, I have helped my clients to manage their digital content Please, the rest of this of this um of this proposal just speaks about you. You do not want to make your proposal all about yourself. You don't want to keep talking about, oh, I do this, I do this, I have done this for a lot of clients. It does not make any sense. Talk about what is on the proposal, on the job posting. I mean, talk about what is on the job posting. Talk about, oh, I see you are looking for this. What ads would you like to run? What apps? My suggestion. Talk as if you actually understand the client's pain and you are trying to fix it. Do not talk about yourself. If you were to talk about yourself, limit it to one paragraph and start going on about the client. No client wants to read a proposal where you're just talking about yourself all through. It doesn't make any sense. If you were a client, you would not hire yourself. So now it ends with, what would an additional 200 organic leads per month do for your business? No mention of the clients, no mention of their struggles, just all about himself. This will not reassure any clients that you know what you are doing. Now, this is not the only one he has posted. He posted yet another thing here where he talks about a winning Upwork proposal for a fintech writer, and I tell you, this is even worse. Here he just keeps talking about himself. True. He just talks about himself, and this proposal is highly narcissistic because I see him he talked about his strive for excellence. He enjoys something about his job. He chose to specialize. You mention the reasons you chose to specialize. You mention what you enjoy most about the job. You mention what you gain from the job, and you did not mention anything about the client. The sad thing is that people are actually eating this up. The comments, nicely done, this is perfect. This is not good. This is not good at all. Because you know the most irritating part of this proposal to me is that he ended with, where do we go from here? That is the rudest question you can ever ask a client. That is quite rude. You can end in a variety of ways. You can ask them to hop on a video call. You can tell them that you want to know further things. You can even tell them, oh, well, if you were to pick me for an interview, I am going to offer you a bonus, something nice. You don't need to start. Where do we go from here? That is quite rude. And I do not know if you want a job with this, because the next threads he posted were apparently a lot of, according to him, proposals that won him contracts. Personally, I do not know if this is true, but if it is true, because it might be true, saying that the messages are what are here and not just proposals. If they are true, I am very certain that these jobs are very, very low quality jobs, because none of this will reassure any high-paying clients that you know what you are doing. See, started this with, as a cat lover, I urgently needed a sitter for my cats. Google could not help. It was such a mental stress. No client wants to watch you go over and over about yourself in the first paragraph. It makes no sense. Nothing about this talks about the client. The only thing I can take away from this client is that he loves cats. Nothing else. I'm a freelancer, and this experience called me to specialize in writing SEO content. This is not a statement of purpose. It is meant to be a proposal where they learn how you can help them, and not what motivated you to join to take up the job. Please, it is very important that you should not write proposals that focus on you or focus on things that the client already knows. Things like when the business is disrupted, it can cost money. They know. Why would you mention that in a proposal? It makes no sense. And also, interesting thing about the proposal is that, first of all, the grammar is not good. The second thing is that the focus, what he was actually meant to focus on, especially in this proposal, was the third paragraph, where it was just being curious. Who are your ideal clients? How long is the video? This should make up the bulk of the proposal. You should have introduced yourself briefly and went ahead. I have a few questions to ask you. Now, the client will know two things. Number one, you read the proposal enough to know those things that he or she didn't mention. And number two, you are actually interested enough in the job to ask questions. These are not good proposals. Not to mention, he did not even sign off his name. There is no regards, blah blah blah, talk to you soon, nice to meet you. Just sign off, no signing off. So these are not good proposals. Ironically, he has another tweet up where he talks about, why do you people start your Upwork proposal with, I understand you are looking for a competent writer, I see that you are looking for blah blah blah, and he said these are outdated. I do not know if they are outdated, but what I know is that most of the jobs I have had on Upwork earned me money. because I started with this. Because yeah, you show that you understand the client's pain. In the first paragraph, if you start like this, they know immediately that you at least read the job posting, especially when you mention key details that they put on their posting. I usually ask people to hammer at least on the first line or the first sentence. Hammer something that the client kept hammering in the job proposal. If the client kept saying something like, I need you someone that can meet deadlines, that is one thing you should mention. Understand that you are looking for a writer that can meet deadlines. I've tried it many times and it worked for me. So now that is one other thing. So as you can see, this tweet, why other people that have not really ended on Upwork might follow it and be like, well, these are good tips. I do not think they are good tips. I do not think they are good tips at all. So now this is another rude suggestion of is how to propose a new contract to your clients. You should copy this. Again, learn to not copy things straight off the internet. Make your own. Now, highly and long time no speak, I wanted to drop a note to say how much I enjoyed working together on the last project. I'll be blunt, I would really like to work again. I'm here and eager to support you as long as I can invoice you for it. If not, no worries. This is very rude. I'm eager to support you as long as I can invoice you for it. No client wants to know that all you want to work for them for is the money. They want to think that you are passionate, because if your motivations are purely money fueled, they will not trust you, and it is normal. You won't trust someone who stays with you just for your money. That is what they want, to believe that you are doing this to help them as much as they are doing it for the money. And this is it's too forward. I'll be blunt. I really like to work on you. It is so rude. It is so I don't know the words to use. But what I do know is that you could have avoided this. I just said, I just wanted to let you know that I'm available for any project you might have. I've tried it at least 3 times and it always works for me. So it does not cost anything. It is the simplest thing to do. So these are his posts. These are all his posts that I saw that were quite misleading. To be honest, I did not see any post that I could actually thumbs up and say, well, this is good advice. So the more I scroll, the more I saw terrible advice. And so this is why I would always advise that you should try to learn from people who you can verify that they are earning. For example, these people, for people who talk about proof, they are always very, very obscure about their earnings. Yeah, he talks about how we just got $400 for a 500 to 800 word article with no proof. It is interesting because most of them will post proof when their students are involved, and now all of a sudden we don't even know anything about this. But anyway, that's all for this freelance coach. Let's go to the next one. This one is actually slightly better because I am not certain, but I do not think he charges that much for his services. I think it does charge, but not that much. But it might not charge. All of this is speculation. But what I know is that the next one for certain charges.